Hey guys, it's Hope and welcome to your December 2020 Crystal Energy reading. I'm really excited to deliver this message today. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Hope and I'm an energy guide and holistic life coach. And on this channel, I share with you how I work with crystals like this and these to deliver messages and insights that can inspire you and me and the rest of the world as we move along our journey. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you'd like to know how I pulled today's crystals or how I work with crystals, you can see my November 2020 video where I explain how that works and how I came to work with crystals. I'm going to start off by identifying each of the crystals we have here on the board. So this is blue onyx, stilbite, fluorite, zyosite in ruby. This is vesuvianite or idocrase. This is red eye agate, peach adventurine, morganite, blue adventurine, and down here at the bottom we have amber. All right, so normally when I do a reading for the collective, I do a reading for the month, it's a collective message for everyone, but this one resonates a little bit more personally. So I'm assuming that we're all kind of in the same energy, we're all sort of in the same place. So even though I might say you or it sounds personal, it really does apply to everyone since it's a collective reading. So I'm going to start over here at the left with the blue onyx and the stilbite. Now when stilbite comes into a reading, it brings with it the energy of decision making, and often these decisions can be big decisions because they have to do with your life destiny. Now this stilbite falls right across from the red eye agate, and red eye agate brings in a very similar energy. Red eye agate talks about what is your purpose in life? Why are you here? What are you here to do? What are you here to accomplish? So it looks like many of us are making these big life decisions about why are we here? And I think some of that comes from, the energy of the virus and the shutdowns and things like that we've had, where we have had more time to question what it is we do every day and why do we do it. So the energy of stilbite comes in and it says, you're making some really big decisions and they have to do with your life destiny. Now, both of these stones have to do with your life destiny. So it's sort of like that double energy there. And blue onyx down here at the bottom, in the position that it's in, really says, how can you go inside to find those answers? So the advice here is not to look outside of ourselves, not to ask other people or do what's expected or what we think we're supposed to do or what people normally do. This decision is about you, and the only way to make this decision is to go within. So instead of looking outside to be told what to do, it suggests that we go inside and look at the signs we've been given or our intuition, or if you want, maybe you could journal about it. Sometimes we get answers as we begin, the writing process. So it really says that you have the answers you're seeking and to go inside to find them. So a lot of times when I tell people that, if that comes up in a reading, they get a little frustrated, like, if I knew the answer, I wouldn't have this decision to make. I'd already know. But sometimes we have to sit with it. We have to give it time for the answers to be known to us, or the energies to gel and to solidify. So if you're not feeling that yet, it's just not time to make the decision yet. But with fluorite right here next to this blue onyx, this tells me that when you do make the decision, you're going to feel like a big weight lifted off yourself. You're just going to be like, okay, this is good. Because the decision needs to be made from a place of knowing, from like a heart space. And when you're able to make this decision, it puts you on your path to your life destiny, and it raises your vibration. Because when we do things that we think we're supposed to do, but we're not in line with them, it pulls us further from our own vibration, our own life path, right? But when we do things that are in harmony with what we think and what we know to be true, it brings us further down our path. So fluorite comes in here and it says, like, this is not only going to raise your self-esteem and you'll feel better about yourself because you're doing, what you really want to do, or you're making this decision based on how you really feel, that it ascends you, it raises your vibration. So it's a really good thing to see. Now, with this red eye agate here, we've got this Vesuvianite, like almost like leaning like on top of it, and then this Ziosite like on top of that, which is really unusual. What this tells me is that this decision, this life path that you're looking at, this new direction, if you will, is good for everyone. It's good for others. It's good for the collective. It resonates in a way that is harmonious for all involved. That's really nice to see. And then we've got these kind of converging together here with this Ziosite in Ruby. When Ziosite in Ruby shows up in a reading, it talks about excitement for life. It talks about a passion for doing what you want to do. So that even furthers this decision to say, like, you know, follow your heart, follow your instinct on this decision, and you'll be relieved when you make it. And it's in line with your destiny, and it's in line with following your passion. So what is it you're passionate about? And, you know, as I struggle to understand how this is a collective message and not an individual message, it dawned on me that, you know, what would the world be like if we all did what we loved, if we all followed our intuition, if we all came from a place of creativity and a place of the heart? So when we follow our passions, we not only light up ourselves and ignite our own world, we show that example to others around us, and we raise the vibration of everyone on the planet. So it's a really good thing to do. Now, as we step up into this adventuring energy, this peach adventuring talks about not being afraid to share that. So maybe the thing you want to do or the decision you're making is something that, you know, like I said before, sometimes we make decisions based on what we think we're supposed to do or what we think other people want us to do. But this talks about following your heart. It talks about doing what you know is right and following your own passions, right? So sometimes when we do that, we have a hard time justifying that to others. We want to be able to answer to others and say, well, I made this decision based on this factual information, or based on I'm going to make this much money if I do, or based on an individualistic type decision. But this decision comes from a place of knowing. And again, when you follow your passion, you'll be able to feel empowered to make this decision and to move forward with it. And the challenge comes in sharing that with others. So the bravery to say, I'm following my own path. I'm doing what I want to do. And expressing that creativity, that thing that you're creating, and that thing that you're going to do. Having the courage to express that to others and go forth in the world to do that. And as we move up here to this Morganite and blue adventuring, this talks about taking our lessons from the past, understanding them, knowing that the things we've been through in our past that were maybe more challenging, that maybe weren't to our liking, maybe they were heartaches or traumas and things like that, that those things all happened for good reason, and that they are part of what makes us who we are today, and they're part of what allows us to make decisions even moving forward. Because not only do we have decisions coming in down here, Blue Adventuring is about taking the information from our past and learning to make decisions as we move forward. So that's going to be really important moving forward, to come from a place of understanding about our past. And instead of being bitter or being fearful or pointing a finger, Morganite looks for a little bit of softness, and it says, where can we learn from those lessons? Where can we understand that without the difficulties that we've been through, we wouldn't be who we are today? And I see that in cultures, I see that in countries, that sometimes we do have to go through things as individuals and aggregate as a collective to get to the place where we are now. And I think that's what this Morganite is pointing out. And it talks about bringing in that energy of opening your heart to hope for a brighter future. And if we make our decisions from love rather than fear, which is what Morganite talks about, then we're able to make those decisions from a place of knowing, right? And a place of higher vibration and a place of following our passions instead of our fears. So when you look to the past, you say, well, this happened in the past. Understand that when we live in the now and we live in today, that the past is there to teach us. We learn from it, but we don't make all of our decisions based on what happened in the past. We learn from it and then we move forward, okay? And then coming straight down here to this amber down here in the corner, this talks about healing. And it talks about healing on an inner level, on an individual level. So because this is a message for the collective, this message is about individuals healing to benefit the collective. So this brings us closer to nature. The energy of the amber brings us closer to, literally, it comes from trees. So it brings us closer to the earth, to Gaia. It brings us closer to our own nature, and it brings us to a place of peace and quiet, and a place that reminds us to breathe as we move forward. So I hope you found this message useful. I hope it resonated with you. And again, I appreciate it when you support this channel so that I can continue to bring these messages to you. And please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Here's a close-up of the agate. Can you guys see the sparkle on this morganite? It's beautiful.